I think people's BS meter is completely changed. You know, they're used to sales calls. They're used to saying no to salespeople, and you got to be straightforward with customers now.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Report Saturday edition. And I got my co-hosts today, Mr. Adam Nelson and Bron Thewsome. Adam and Bron, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Pumped to be here.
Yeah, super excited. Today's topic is going to be how to make $250,000 a year in door-to-door sales. I know you guys are coming off $100 million a year last year in door-to-door sales. This year, going to be pumping out $120 million, which is super impressive. And you guys started off doing the door-to-door stuff, and you guys are the experts in it. So that said, what is step one for someone out there maybe listening to the podcast right now, and they want to get into door-to-door sales? What should they do?
If you want to get into door-to-door sales with us, this is how Bron and I got started. Is we needed an avenue of income. You know, I was working in a call center, making $7 an hour. Just wasn't going to cut it. College athlete. Had goals and aspirations, and when that cut out, I needed a different vehicle. I needed a different avenue where I could work on myself, work on goals, and go make money. And I found the door-to-door sales. So
love that.
We don't require college degrees. We don't need anything, any sales experience. You come out and we train guys how to get on the doors. Our average college intern or first year person that's never done anything before will go out and make $34,000 in a summer. Okay. Doing door-to-door sales. And we're doing tech sales. So we're selling smart home, doorbell cameras, outdoor cameras, home automation to customers door to door. And so the best way to get started is just jumping in, baptism by fire. We come in and we teach you how to do a door approach, how to prospect your customers, how to give a good sales presentation, how to overcome objections, and then how to close the sale and get paid the next Friday.
Okay, I love that. So if someone's out there, they want to go do the door-to-door, does it matter how much like the company, like, because, when I grew up, it was like Cutco knives. I know there's a bunch of other door-to-door products out there. People in the real estate space, they call it, they go door knocking to find real estate listings. But does it matter so much the product that you're selling, or does it really just matter who you are and your skills?
I think, there's a little bit to both of it. I think what does matter is who's going to train you. Okay. Who is going to teach you how to be great at the job? If you're not afraid to go and put yourself in front of people, then you just need someone to teach you how to be really good, teach you how to negotiate, teach you how to overcome objections, teach you how to close, teach you how to do these things. If you can find someone that can do that, then that's going to be huge. I think there's three things you look at for anyone who's going to go look at it and doing door to door, whether it's pest control, alarm systems, solar, Cutco, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Then look at number one, what is the company, what company you're working for? Do they have a good track record? Like, what does that track record look like? Will they be able to pay you your check, right? Because there's a lot of startup businesses door to door. Number two, who is that leader going to be that is going to teach you how to sell? Like that we just mentioned. And
how do you identify that leader?
You interview. Like when you ask specific questions, you say, who is going to teach me how to sell? Ask it. Who am I going to learn from? Who's going to teach me? Okay. How many did he do the previous year? How many has he done this year, the past 3 years? I want to know who is going to teach me how to be great. Because I'm not just going to sit in here and put all this time and effort into something and not have a good trainer.
Love that. And his track record. It's really easy to determine somebody's track record. Like in this industry, you can say, how long have you been with this company for? If they've been with this company 6-7 years, they have a solid track record. Yeah. Like they're not emotional. They're not bouncing company to company looking for deals or looking for higher pay or an instant promotion. They're growing organically and they're having success where they're at. If they've changed 4 companies in 4 years, it's probably not the right leader for you.
Love that. So you find the right leader, then what?
And the last thing is who are you going to be surrounded with while you're doing the job? Most of the time when you're doing door to door, you work with pretty close or pretty select, 10, 15, 20 people really closely while you're doing this. For us anyways, our model has been proven the way we do it, but we leave for the summer and we take, 10 or 20, 30, 40 people out on one sales team. Mm-hmm. Well, if I don't vibe with that culture, it doesn't matter if if the company's good or the leader's good. If I hate going to work every single day because the culture's terrible, you're going to be gone soon anyway. So company, leader, or the trainer who's going to teach you, and then what is the culture going to be like? And the only way to find out is you got to immerse yourself in and find out who is it that I'll be spending my time with. So those 3 things.
I love that. And I think there's a lot of other benefits of getting into sales at an early age that we're not even talking about, that most people don't even identify. Like I got into sales when I was 18, selling cell phones at the mall. I was the guy at the kiosk, like hustling people for cell phones before everyone had cell phones. And then after that, I went to sell cars. But I got used to rejection. I got used to being told no. I got comfortable saying hi to strangers. Like that was uncomfortable for me at first, right? It's not comfortable for most people to just go and start talking to strangers. But also, no one likes to be told no, right? And so you get used to rejection. But then it's those small wins every now and then, because every no gets you closer to a yes, right? And then you get the juice out of it. You get that little like motivation, little bump, you know? And so I don't know, I just got used to that. And then a lot of that stuff has translated over to what I'm doing today, whether it's raising capital. But now I'm not shy to go up and say hi to strangers. Like I just say hi to everyone in the street now. I'm like, it's just like second nature. Hey, what's up, dude? How you doing today? Blah, blah, blah. Like I could be a complete stranger. And that all came from the kiosk, right? Yeah. Before that, I never did that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. But anyway, so I want to walk through the step-by-step process. So if you're door knocking, all right, and you're doing door-to-door sales, you ring the doorbell and the person answers, what's the first thing you should do?
This will blow people away, is just understanding the psychology behind this, right? So like you said, this is paid off. Learning sales is a 4-year degree in psychology. It's also a 4-year degree in communications, literally in one year.
Dating, everything.
Yes. It will help you in all aspects of your life if you can learn sales and communication and the psychology behind what people are thinking as you approach them, right? And so going to a real scenario, the guys that do really good at this, they've learned how to get good at all different steps of the sale, right? So the first step is prospecting. You're walking up to a house, you got to see who your customer is. And it's crazy how telling your front yard and your front door is about what kind of customer you are and what kind of consumer behaviors you have.
Give me an example.
Pristine yard, right? Nice cut yard, good landscaping, you have good credit. Right? That's just one thing that we look for. If you have weeds in the grass and don't take care of your yard, I don't know if you're even going to qualify.
That's so good.
You're throwing mud at the wall.
That's
at that
so
point.
good. If you can't take care of your landscaping, you're not taking care of your finances.
Yeah. So
that's so good.
You got to have good credit, right? And then number 2 is you get the guys that have the backed in Camaros. You got the guys backing in their Mustangs, whatever it is. They're the car guys. They're the truck guys, big lifted tires. It's expendable income. And they also care a lot about those types of things, right? They put 20-inch wheels on their truck. They put extra money into their cars.
They like the luxuries.
They like the luxury goods. Those are my customers. I can drive down a street and literally see a backed up truck and then a minivan next to it. That's my customer. Family guy, lifted truck. Like he's going to buy. He likes the luxuries. He's got expendable income. He's got a nice yard. He's going to be a buyer, right?
I love that.
So you can start prospecting and identifying sales before you even knock on the customer. And your front yard is very telling of who you are and what kind of customer you're going to be.
So will you actually skip, like just out of respect to your own time, will you skip the properties that are like chain link fences with junk everywhere?
We train not to. It's hard to judge a book by a cover. And you'd be surprised how many houses are just like horrible and you knock on the door just out of...
Bron's giving me the signal. He's like, I do.
I do. I
probably would too.
I will skip homes.
The craziest,
and go to homes that I think are good looks
craziest sales
first.
I've ever had are houses where I was gonna skip and I decided to knock it anyways. And it's a hoarder house and crazy, but excellent credit, great customer, and you get the sale.
What's the craziest thing that any homeowners ever said to you guys?
Oh, I don't know if I can.
I'm sure you guys have seen it all, right?
I don't know if we can share that one here.
Yeah, you'll see everything in door-to-door sales because you got to understand. You have no idea what their lifestyle is. You have no idea what the inside of their home is, anything like that. It's very eye-opening of what America's like. But there's only been a couple of situations where I've been into a home and felt uncomfortable, with certain situations that are going on in the home. I don't know if you want a specific story.
Let's hear a story. What's the craziest story?
There's been one of the weirder ones that I ever had. I walked in and you're meeting somebody at the door, right? We train you to do a transition. So you break preoccupation, they're busy, they're doing something else. Hey, I'm going to be real brief. I'm just going to give you a quote on what we're doing, see if it's a good fit, right? So they're interested in a quote. We transition into the home. We don't do this on the doorstep. We transition in. So do you have a table where I can sit down and kind of write this out for you? We have an iPad. So I go for
You're progressing the date.
We're progressing the date. So exactly. We go to step 2, transition into the home. The guy lets me ride into his house And as we're doing a walkthrough through his house and showing him, hey, we can put a keypad here, we can put a camera here. We're kind of doing a walkthrough with him and showing him what we can do for his home. He talks to me about fire hydrants. He's like, I want fire protection in my home. I'm like, okay, that's not one thing most people bring up right away. It's usually cameras and smart home. He's like, oh, how about fire protection? I was like, well, it depends on the smoke detectors you have in your house. Let's take a look. So I turn to look down, and as I'm walking through, I say hi to some other people in the room. I said, how you doing? How you doing? And when I get to the smoke detector, I turn around and I realize that the people that were in the room weren't people, they were mannequins. Whoa. And the guy had human mannequins throughout his whole house, like sitting at the table, sitting at the couch. I wasn't like trying to see and like I wasn't looking around his house. I didn't want to creep him out, like looking all over the house and that kind of stuff. I see mannequins sitting all over the house. And as I realized this, I start thinking about it as I'm trying to have a conversation with the guy. I'm like, this is really weird. Creepy. Then I'm looking at the art on his wall, and his art's very weird too. Very graphic art and that kind of stuff.
What was the art?
Like pornographic art and that kind of stuff. And I was like,
And the mannequins are naked?
The mannequins don't have clothes on. And I'm just like, I need to get out of this house, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you're like, I don't want the sale anymore.
I don't want this sale. He's extremely interested. And I'm honestly like, here's my card. Give me a call.
Maybe he's into you too.
Yeah, who knows? But you'll run into situations like that where you're just like, yeah, there's something not vibing right in this house. Like something.
So what did you say to get out of that one?
So obviously he's interested in the sale, and that's kind of my card. And I was like, hey, if you want this, it's gonna run you like $80 a month. Here's my card. Give me a call.
Nice.
And just kind of cut the sale short.
Dude, I wonder what the fire thing was all about, though. That's interesting.
It was strange. Yeah. He's probably trying to protect his mannequins or his art or something like that. Like, who knows if they were valuable or whatever the situation was.
Sentimental.
It could have been sentimental, but you can just sense when something's not right in a house or, something's going on. And I've done this for 10 years, been in probably tens of thousands of houses, and I've only felt that a couple times where I'm like, okay, there's something not right in this house.
That's crazy. So anyway, so you knock on the door. What's the first thing you typically want to say? Because I know when I'm calling people, and they don't know who I am, I just tell them right away, hey, this is who I am, and this is what I'm looking for. Do you have a second? And when people call me and they don't give me those three things right away, I'm like wasting my time. Yep. You know what I mean? Yeah. It annoys me. If you love real estate investing, passive income, and tax benefits, but don't have the time, my company, Summers Capital, is buying boutique hotels right now. We source the deals, we renovate the properties, and we even handle all the day-to-day management, making it truly hands-off for our investors. If you want to learn more to see if we can help you, visit summerscapital.com/invest to book a call with our team. Again, that's summerscapital.com/invest. Now back to the show.
I feel like the game's changed a little bit. Back in the day, if you pick up a Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar book, it's going to be very sales gimmicky. It's going to be like, how you doing today, sir? I'm Zig Ziglar. We're doing the encyclopedia sell that he's going to train, right? I think people's BS meter has completely changed. They're used to sales calls. They're used to saying no to salespeople, and you got to be straightforward with customers now. So, it's changed in 17 years of doing it, but now our approach is very direct. Like, hey, I know you're a busy man. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, sorry to bug you, letting them know that we're respectful. We're not there to just speak over them or speak through them. Like a lot of people have preconceived notions about what sales guys are going to do. So we try to break that preoccupation and say, I apologize. I know you're a busy man. I'm going to be real brief. I'm actually here to earn your business. I see that you have our competitors' signs up or, whatever it is. I see you don't have cameras yet. So I'm here to talk to you about what our offering. You give a quick offering, and then we don't try to find a solution right there. We're not dropping price on the door. We're not trying to find a solution right here. We just say it's really simple. It takes 1 to 2 minutes. I break you down a quote and see if it's a good fit. We kind of do like a pullback where it's like, you don't have to make a decision right now. We're just here to give you a quote and see if it's a good fit. Yeah. Most people are willing to get a quote. If they're intrigued, they'll say, yeah, we can do a quote. If they don't want you on the doorstep and they don't want you there, they're just going to say no. And that does not hurt my feelings. Like, it's a numbers game. I'm going to get 20 no's today, 30 no's today, possibly if I knock enough doors. I'm not looking for 30 yeses. I'm looking for 1 or 2 yeses a day, and I can go make really. So
if you get the no, you just roll to the next one.
Yeah.
I love that.
Sir, have a good day.
I love that because what I've learned, and this is true for not just sales, but all aspects of life, dating, relationships, friendship, everything. But the yeses you get something from, right? So in sales, you're gonna get compensated for the yeses. The no's you're going to get time from, right? because it gets you closer to that next yes.
Yeah.
But the maybes, those are the ones that you don't get anything from.
Yep.
And so I try to avoid the ones that can't make a decision, because let's be honest, most folks are not decisive and they struggle to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to stick to people and do business with people that can make a quick decision.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, most things that require a decision, you don't need a lot of information to make a decision. It's yes or no, and we move on, right? A lot of decisions you got to make in life.
Yep.
So if you struggle to make a decision days and days and days to make a simple decision, you're not going to go very far in life.
Yeah.
I probably make 100 decisions every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and other people might only make one decision a day.
Listen, you only have a certain amount of energy in a day.
Yeah.
Right. So why give your energy to the people that are going to be taking it from you by wasting your time? Right. You can keep on pushing and pushing and pushing, but now you've just wasted some of your energy that you could have been given to an A customer.
Yeah, I love that. So if the client says, yes, I'm interested in a price quote, then you progress the transaction. You actually step inside of the place. Yeah. You sit down at the table. I love that. You're progressing the date.
It's crazy how you're progressing the date, and it's crazy how trustworthy people are, right? Like if you're a clean cut, you're thought out with your presentation, you're professional in appearance and that kind of stuff. You're polite, those kind of things, and you say, let's take a seat. Let's write out a quote real quick. And you're assumptive and you move forward, they'll let you right into their house. Yeah. And it's crazy how people just trust a stranger off the street to come right into their house. Immediately when you get into their home, you realize that their thought process is probably changing, right? This is the psychology of selling. Now they're saying, I just let a stranger into my house. How do I know that this guy's legitimate? These kind of things. So I do certain things that kind of break preoccupation and build trust. So right away, I say, do you want me to take off my shoes? Right? And they're usually going to say no, but I say, I'm going to take my shoes off anyways. My wife would kill me if I didn't take my shoes off.
That's
right?
a good one.
So now they know I'm married. They know I'm a husband, and I'm also respectful. I'm going to take off my shoes. No bad guy's going to come in and try to rob you with their shoes off. I love that. I'm respectful. I'm a good guy. I'm taking off my shoes. It's just building that trust throughout the whole process and being likable. It's all about being likable and building trust throughout the sale. And so now, as we're doing a walkthrough and just showing them kind of what we can do to the house, you can't do business standing up. We got to sit down. So we transition to the best place to sit down, which is usually the kitchen table.
Progressing the date again.
Right? And so let's go ahead and take a seat right here, and let me just jot this down real quick for you. And we sit down. At that point of the sale, the best sales guys, they're not they're giving quotes. They build relationships, and you got to be really good at building this relationship of trust within a couple minutes, right? And so when I sit down, I got to be very observant and see kind of what's going on in this household. Is there pictures of hunting on the wall? Is there pictures of, sports on the wall, sports teams? People listen to people they like. They buy from people they trust. So I got to establish this trust right away.
So good.
So we're sitting at the table, and right away, I'm going to try to talk about something that's likable. And I want them to see me as a human being. I don't want them to see me as a salesperson anymore. So I'll see the San Diego Chargers flag on the wall and be like, all right, so San Diego Chargers, what do we got this week? Are they going to pull through this week? And then we're going to start talking football, and I'm going to talk to them about my team, and we're going to relate in sports. We're going to have that common ground or common interest. Or hunting, I'm going to talk about hunting and show them pictures of me hunting and, with my brothers or my dad hunting, and we're going to talk hunting stories before we get to business. And we're going to have that relationship built a little bit, on something that we can find a common ground on. If
people know you're human, it goes a long way. Like a lot of times we do these sales pitches and we become so robotic in what we do that's the reason why people don't want to work with you or deal with you, is because it's like, oh, he says this on every single house. He's not even human. It's like a robot. If you're human, then people can resonate with that. And it's like, hey, okay, what do you got?
Dude, I love that. And it's so true. And that's why I love podcasting and social media. It's because, now you have an opportunity to share who you are. And you also get to learn about other folks and what they're doing. And it's a lot more organic, you know? I love that. So if someone's, doing door-to-door sales and let's say they do 60 grand or 80 grand their first year, what differentiates that person that's doing 80,000 versus $250,000 a year?
Experience. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Our best rookie ever, first year, no experience, never done it, did 300 accounts, sold 300 homes.
Solid.
Made about $250,000 his first summer ever. College kid,
in
college
one summer.
Player, in one summer.
Crushed it.
And so
what did he have that the other people didn't have?
That's what's interesting is he had confidence and swagger about him, but we talk about this likability and trust, right? Is he could literally sit down and make anybody like him instantly. And the product sells itself. It's a product people want. People are going to say yes if you're likable and trustworthy. And he was able to connect with everybody on that relationship standpoint instantly and just be friendly with them. And he's casual, hat backwards kind of guy, like just really comfortable to talk to. And then when it comes down to the end of the sale, it always comes down to closing. Like everybody can give a price quote. It comes down, can you close and can you overcome an objection? And the number one objection that we see is obviously people saying, can I think about it? Right.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to think about the deal. And so
most common objection.
Yeah. Most common objection.
How do you overcome that one?
You got to relate with it, right? And understand why they're saying it. Most people are saying, can I think about it? Because they don't have all the information. They also don't know if they fully trust you yet, right? Like they're not going to give you the credit card right now because I don't know if I fully trust you. So I understand this as soon as they say it, and I'm expecting the objection. So as soon as they say it, I'm gonna say, yes, of course you can think about it. Like that's not a big deal. How long do you think you need to think about it for? And they'll say maybe 2 or 3 days, right? And that'll let me know kind of where they're at. And I always respond with, great, I can give you 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna remove buying pressure. I don't want to be a high pressure salesman. I can give you 2 to 3 days. We're looking at Saturday. I can follow up with you on Saturday, and they'll say, yeah, Saturday's great. I say, great. Between now and Saturday, I know I'm not gonna get the sale unless I know that you're a 10 out of 10. There's never a sell unless you're 10 out of 10, excited about this. Just for my knowledge, I've been very transparent and straightforward with you. How close are we? Are we like an 8 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10? Like how close are we? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm like an 8 out of 10. The customer will start opening up, and I'm just going to keep asking questions to understand where this customer's, why they're only an 8 out of 10. I'll be like, okay, I thought you were like a 9 out of 10. What's holding you back? What do you think is keeping you back from being a 10 out of 10? Now I'm getting the real objection to surface, and they're going to talk to me about it. They're going to say, hey, you know what? I need to call my competitor company and see what their offering is, or I need to look into your company, or I need to talk to my wife about it. Like the real objection is going to, come up, and now I can actually overcome the real objection.
I love that. That's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Isolating the objection.
I was also another way answer to your question is what differentiates someone from 30,000 to 250,000? Mm-hmm. We make money 3 ways. Your personal sales, and that you only have enough time in the day to do a certain amount of personal sales, right?
Right.
The second way we make money is through overriding sales of people that you have recruited and built a sales team with. So a leader, a manager. And the third way is residual. So if you have a residual, if you go and your team does a certain amount, right, then you're going to get a residual on that group. So you can only make so much money with your personal sales. But if you have 2 other avenues of income or streams of income within in just this one company, that's how you get to 250,000 without having to sell, like Adam mentioned, this guy his first year, right? You can sell good, don't have to knock it out of the park. But if you can focus on leadership and recruiting, then you go and get 250,000. Yes.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. How do you overcome the objection of price?
Price is relative. It's relative to value, right? And so a lot of times people want to hear that the price is low because that's what they think they want. And I always, it's different. There's 2 different approaches to it, but I always like to come in low and build up from there and build value through what the customer really wants. You don't ever want to sell a customer what you think they want. You have to understand what they actually really do want, and you do that by asking questions. So, at the beginning of every sale, people always want to know what the price is, and you just got to put that answer off until there's value created. Like you can't give it when there's no value created yet. So my way of overcoming it is just, it depends on how crazy we get with the system. If we're doing 1 camera or 4 cameras, it's all relative to how much you choose to add to your package. Let's sit down real quick and let's just design it. Now I can get to know them a little bit better. I can ask them questions, ask them why they want 3 cameras, 4 cameras, and have them start selling themselves on why they want this. And now price will match what their needs are and the value that's been added.
I love it. Awesome. Well, hey, I think that concludes this edition of the Saturday episode, how to make $250,000 in door-to-door sales. How can listeners get in touch with you if they want to learn more?
Hey, you can find us on Top 1%er Official on Instagram. Send us a DM. We'll always answer. And we're on TikTok, as well as just Top 1%er.
Get up on that TikTok. Let's go. They're Adam and Braun. I'm Rich Summers. Listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next one. Peace.